Hi everyone, welcome to Style 3D channel. In this video you will learn how to make a double layered clothing, how to make the quilting, and how to adjust the pleats. So let's get started. First, open the file in the upper left corner and import the DXF pattern. Click to open the resource library on the right. Then choose to add a child model. Then click Show Pattern Name and 2D Textured Surface on the toolbar on the left side of the 2D window. Next, frame and select the patterns for simple arrangement. Here we arrange them in 2 rows to facilitate the operations. Delete the same row of patterns below as well as the symmetrical patterns. Select the front piece, right-click, and symmetry pattern with a seam. Then select the trace tool. Outline the symmetry axis on the left-right symmetrical pattern and delete the redundant baseline. The color part is left-right symmetrical, but there is no symmetrical line, so we first use the pen tool. Hold down Shift to make a vertical line, then right-click to duplicate as a mirrored internal line. We can see that there are slits on the sleeves. So we move the sleeve cuff to line up with the corresponding slit. Then select the trace tool to outline the internal line of the split part. Select Extend to Outline. Then frame select all the patterns, right-click in the 3D window, and reset the 2D arrangement. Shortcut key A to display modal arrangement points. Select the pattern and click Arrange Point to arrange it. We arrange the body pattern and the color pattern to the corresponding position in turn. The sleeve part can be arranged on one side first and then on the other side. On the other hand, use a symmetry pattern with seam to generate a new pattern, which will make the position arrangement much more convenient. After the pattern is arranged, we sew them. It's quicker to sew the body with segment sewing. For cuffs and armholes and necklines, we can choose M and free sewing tool for sewing. Rotate to check for leaks. And next you can sew the color. The color needs to use internal lines to create a folded effect. Select the trace tool to outline the folded line of the color and set the folded angle. The angles are set to 120 degrees and 150 degrees respectively. Freeze the unused bag lip and breast pocket pattern. We'll take care of that a little bit later in the video. To make the folds of the color smooth, turn the particle distance setting down to 5, then straighten the body pattern and simulate. Adjust the fold-over effect of the color. We can see that the fabric texture of the color is reversed. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the color, right-click, and select Flip Normal so that the texture of the color is facing up. After the color is adjusted, then we'll adjust the placket of the body, just like so. For the placket part, we can first use the trace tool to outline the internal lines, then sew and simulate and pull. Then straighten the bottom color so that the effect of the color can be well presented. Next, hold down the Shift key and select the outlines of the shoulder, armhole circle, and collar in turn. Open the seam taping option in the right property editor. Then select the body and sleeve patterns, unstraighten them, and simulate again. Then we deal with the slit of the sleeves. Select the sleeve cuff pattern, straighten, and simulate. And we're going to put pins, so fix pins to both sides, then simulate. Then when you open the simulation, in the simulated state, you can move the pin position to adjust the closing effect of the sleeve flap. Add a 0.2 centimeter tack at the sleeve flap by Add Tack tool. Then remove the fixed pin simulating. Select the sleeve cuff pattern on the other side, right-click, and then symmetry the shape. Then you can also add the tack, again set the tack length to 0.2 centimeter, and simulate. Now you can adjust the overall state of the clothes, and then next we'll start to make the hurt quilting effects on the jacket. Trace tool frame, select the pattern, click Enter key, and then quickly generate internal lines. Next, we're going to remove the redundant internal lines, just like so. Frame all the patterns, then right-click and generate lining inside. In this way, we quickly made the general effect of the Velour quilting line. Open the cloth thick option and then simulate. We saw that the placket part was not very stable and it needs to be adjusted. So frame the body and sleeve pattern and then set the particle distance to 5. Hold down the Shift key, select the inner and outer layer of the pattern on the left side of the front piece, and then set the level to 1 and again simulate. After the clothes are in a stable state, we set the level of the pattern to 0 again. Then simulate. And next we're going to select the Edit Sewing tool and remove the excess sewing threads, just like in the video. Just be careful not to delete the wrong lines. There's multiple sewing lines on the collar that can be selected and deleted at the same time. And then again, simulate. Next, we're going to make the down jacket filling effect, and first, we're going to demonstrate a wrong demonstration. Select the outer pattern and then set the pressure to 20, and then select the inner pattern and set the pressure to -20, then simulate. You can see that makes a big difference already. The hem part, it becomes dimpled though. So we step back to before adding the pressure. Then we use the Edit Pattern tool to select the hem edge of the body pattern, right-click to generate a 0.5 equidistant inner line, then cut and sew. Then simulate. Select the hem hedge pattern of the lining layer and then freeze it. Frame the outer pattern and set the pressure to 20. Then select the lining pattern and set the pressure to -20 like before, and then simulate. And as you can see, no more dimples. The effect of the filling of the love heart is appeared, and now we're going to adjust the shape of the color. Next, we selected the model and opened the simulation. In the simulation state, we convert the model from an A pose to an I pose. Like this is going to look a little more natural. Okay, so now look at the shape of the garment from all angles, just like so. And then turn the simulation, make a small adjustment to the color again. And now we're going to adjust the material type of the jacket. So box select all the patterns and right click to freeze. Then select the pattern on the left side of the front piece to unfreeze it. And open the resource library on the right to find the fabric option, and then choose a nylon fabric with a basic weight of 135 grams to add. Then drag it onto the front piece and simulate to see the effect. In order to increase the real effect of the fabric, it is necessary to add some folds to the fabric. So frame the pattern and increase the shrinkage ratio wrap and shrinkage ratio weft to 110. Then simulate, and you'll see some fine wrinkle appear where the quilting links are, but it's not rich enough yet. So again, click on the fabric, because the greater the stretch value, the less likely the fabric will be stretched. So we are going to increase the stretch value to make the pulling feeling of the fabric folds a little bit more obvious. Then select the lining of the left front piece of the body, right click to unfreeze, and then simulate. Pull a little on it. Then the effect of the quilting and embossing love, it comes out. Looks better. Now select all the patterns and add the fabric to all of it. And unfreeze. Then freeze the hem of the lining again to fix the hem shape. We see that the sleeve part is currently looking a little bit flat, so we're going to adjust that. After the sleeve pattern is selected, increase the shrinkage ratio weft and shrinkage ratio weft to 110. And do the same for the back panel, and the collar in turn. And simulate to see how it looks. It's also necessary to make the filling effect a little bit more obvious and then adjust it again. So select the outer pattern of the frame to increase the pressure to 25. And we can see that the effect of the filling is now a little bit more obvious. Switch various angle to observe the effects, and you'll find that the split part of the sleeves needs to be adjusted. See, it's how it's gaping on the side. So open the simulation, pull the cuffs to a suitable position, and then quickly place the spacebar on the keyboard to close the simulation. Then we're going to secure the split part with a fixing pin. Like so, it won't look gaping anymore. So do the same thing now on the other side. Then simulate. And now we see that the sleeves are still not natural and need to be adjusted. Frame the sleeve pattern and reduce the shrinkage ratio rep and shrinkage ratio weft to 108 and 105 respectively, and then simulate again. Then select the lining layer of the sleeve cuffs, freeze. At the same time, unstraighten the outer pattern and then simulate. The cuffs needs a thickness. Edit the pattern tool to select the bottom edge of the sleeve, right-click to generate two equidistant internal lines with a spacing of 0.2 and set the folding angle to 160. Simulate. Then adjust the shrinkage ratio of the outer pattern of the sleeve. Simulate again. Then unfreeze the inner layer of the sleeve cuffs and then simulate. Switch the angle and observe. Now the cuffs, they have a certain thickness to them. Select all the patterns and freeze them. Now we'll do the pockets. So select the trace tool to outline the fold line of the back cover. Then sew one side of the back cover to the body. Unfreeze the pattern of the back cover, right-click, and superimpose over. Perfect. Now reduce the particle distance of the pattern to 3 and then set the level to 1 and simulate. Select the fold line of the flap pattern and use the fold arrangement tool to fold. We can switch the angle to observe the folding effect to avoid excessive mold penetration. After adjusting the folding angle, we need to sew the two ends of the back cover together. And here, pay attention to select the sewing type as turned. Then sew the back cover pattern to the body. Simulate. And you can see some mold through, so just pull on it a few times to make sure everything looks correct. Now right-click to select Symmetry Pattern with Seam and superimpose over, then Symmetry the shape. Simulate. Frame the back cover pattern to unstraighten and then again simulate. Then set the level to 0. To unfreeze the brace pocket and show the arrangement points, arrange and adjust the position. Now sew it to the body pattern and simulate. So again, some molding is occurring, so we're going to lower the particle distance to 3, then set the level to 1, and simulate again, and boom. Now the mold is gone. Select the pocket pattern, right-click to generate lining inside, and then unstraighten. And remove the excess sewing threads. We set the level to 0. Add a pressure value of 20 to the outer layer of the pocket and minus 20 to the inner layer, then simulate. Then increase the shrinkage ratio and pressure to make the filling effects more obvious. Change the sewing thread type of the pocket opening to custom angle. The shrinkage radial width of the pattern is increased to 115 and then simulate. Once the effect is achieved, select the pocket pattern and then freeze it. Now select the pattern of the body and color to unfreeze, then select the inner pattern of the hem to freeze. Simulate. Adjust the shape of the clothes like so. Then switch to different angles to make sure it looks good on each side. Now frame select all patterns and freeze again. Select the texture option of the fabric and add the prepared material picture, and then select shiny for render type and set the gloss to 0.6. Click the top stitch on the right column, change the name, modify the offset to 0, and use straw to select a color darker than the body. Right-click and lock all outlines. Select the line segment top stitch tool and select the patterns in turn so that you can quickly add a large number of top stitches. After adding the top stitch, we also need to check and delete the redundant bright lines. Copy a new top stitch and name it 0.2. Set the offset to 0.2, turn on the Enable Normal texture, and set the thickness to 0.6. Then we add top stitching to the breast pocket and bottom collar. Unlock all the outlines first. Choose the 0.2 top stitch and add it to the bottom collar and pocket respectively. Then copy a top stitch and name it 0.5. Set the offset to 0.5, then add the stop stitch to the collar and cuffs in turn. This way, all the top stitches are added. Select and delete the redundant top stitches at the pocket position. The sleeve part is still looking a bit flat, so we're going to adjust it. Select sleeve and unfreeze it. Particles distance is set to 3 and add extra render thickness and extra collision thickness. Change the straighten degree of the cuff lining to 10, the pressure to -25, and then simulate. Unfreeze the sleeve part. Simulate. Then select the outer pattern, increase the pressure to 30, and increase the shrinkage ratio wrap and shrinkage ratio width at the same time. The sleeves will be fuller and fluffier than before, and same on the other side now. So again, render thickness, collision thickness, particle distance, and then simulate to make sure that both sleeves looks the same. Looks pretty good. Then freeze the body and cuffs, switch various angle to observe the sleeves. Now freeze all the patterns, and next we're going to add all the buttons. Open the resource library and add a button, whichever one you want. Change its width to 1, set the render type to metal, and then click on the color and absorb a darker color from the body color. So a darker purple would be nice. Then change the gloss to 0.6 and the metalness to 0.8. Next, we're going to add the buttons for the placket. So click the Edit Pattern tool, select the internal line to generate an equidistant internal line with a width of 0.5. Then click the button, select this internal line and right-click, set the start position to 2, the end position to 10, and the quantity to 5, and then click OK. You're also going to want to add a button at the lap of the color and then adjust each of the button like you want. Buttons are also needed to be added to the cuffs. And now the left quilted down jacket is ready. Let's see the final effect. Looking good. So that's it, guys. Some of the tips will help you in your modeling work. And if you like what we do, please like, comment, and share this video. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you in the next video. Bye.